What's up, J Sauce? Back with another video. You see the title, you see what you here for. You see the scarf, and just know I gotta switch in my purse, and I'm ready to beat somebody's badass nephew, cause that's what it looked like I'm about to do. Yeah, it looked like yeah, I know. I wanted to give y'all the story time. I was debating if I wanted to tell it or not because it is pretty lengthy. It is lengthy. So go ahead, sneak in your mama room. Go ahead and steal one of her Pepsis. Go in your grandma room. Go ahead and get that little tin foil with them cookies. You know, that tin can with them good cookies. Go ahead and grab them. Go get comfortable. That's all I'm trying to say. Just get comfortable because I don't know how long this gonna be. Mind you, all of this happened in one night. But it was a very long night. I don't even think I went to sleep for real. But let me go ahead and get into it. Let me let y'all in a little bit. Before we get into the story, I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I did just a little bit of scamming, you feel me? I did a little bit of scamming. So I had fake IDs and fake credit cards. But mind you, the credit cards, they didn't work. It wasn't like I was like really out there doing the damn thing, you feel me? Like they didn't have no magnetic strip or nothing. Like literally the credit card was for the ID. Like if you go to a spot with a fake ID, and they be like, that look a little iffy, you feel me? Boom, bitch, I got the debit card, you feel me? This is me. So you know, I got two forms of ID. So that was the only reason I even had the debit cards. They did not work, okay? Let's go ahead and hop into it. If you didn't watch my story time about when I fought over a girl that I didn't want, go watch that so you'll really understand the people that I was around, you feel me? It was one of the people in my group birthday. Now when it's your birthday, clubs, they like to do the most. Like if it's your birthday month, they'll get you in for free, they'll get you your people in for free, bottles for free, goddamn, they'll even give you a little bag of Coke for free. Like they be blessing, like so that's what she wanted to do. So she chose Onyx. If you don't know what Onyx is, it's a major strip club. I ain't even gonna say major for real. I don't even know how. Is that shit global, nigga? Is that a fucking state? Is that what the fuck is it, international? Like, do they got Onyx like in Ghana? Like, do they got Onyx in motherfucking Paris strip? Like, do they got that over there? Like, for real. But that's what it was. It was a strip club. She wanted to see some ass and titties. Shit, I'm down with it. I'm always down to see some ass and titties. So let's go. Fuck it. Let's go. Grab my book bag. Let's go. That's how it was. Like, I was happy. I'm like, okay, let's go. I was at my homeboy crib. This is, mind you, this is Friday night. Her birthday Friday night. I was at my homeboy crib, and his crib was literally up the street, like 5 minutes from Onyx. And I was like, just hit me when y'all get there, and I'll meet y'all there. Bet. Let's go. I don't know what the fuck my homeboy had going on. Like, he was in the streets for real. Like, that's all he was in them streets. Like, goddamn Sesame Street, motherfucker. Thought that nigga was Oscar the Grouch for real. When I tell you, this dude brought his gun, like, it was not no hand, like, it wasn't no motherfucking pistol, nothing like that. This nigga brought a motherfucking Draco. Just think. Yo, just think about that shit. You know how many enemies you gotta have to carry a motherfucking Draco 5 minutes up the street to Onyx? And you in the car, dude? You can't even take the gun in the club. Bitch, I got my own fire. Don't need security in the club. Head ass. He was Pooh Shiesty before Pooh Shiesty was Pooh Shiesty. Fuck you mean? You know how much beef you gotta have? And my dumb ass, alright, let's go. Nah, nigga, I ain't going nowhere with you. I ain't about to get killed. What the fuck? Fuck around, goddamn. Stop at the wrong light and be fucked up. Like, I ain't even, that shit ain't clicked to me at all. He had his shit, and it's funny. Niggas will carry a gun like they got 10,000 enemies. Ain't nobody looking for them for real. Like, what are you, at this point, this is an accessory on you. Like, you use this bitch like a belt. Like, why the fuck do you even got that shit? Nobody is looking for you at all. I promise. Like nobody. He bring his gun, and you know we had some tree or whatever, and he put it under the seat. Bet. So we get to the club. When I walk in that bitch, when you walk in, you would not know that it was a Friday night. When we walk in that bitch, it's like the strippers jumped up and just started twerking. Like they was sleep in that bitch before we walked in. Like it was so dead that night. I don't know what the fuck was going on. Like they jumped up. You know when your mama will tell you to get up and get ready for school, and your ass lay back down, and she bust in the room, and you got damn. That's what the fuck the strippers did. Like, like they motherfucking just jumped up and started twerking, started dancing. I'm like, alright. So we in that bit, we vibing, like we having a grand time, bro. Like it was to the point people was throwing us ones. Like at this point, we the entertainment. We taking over this shit. Goddamn, go ahead, hop on the stage, do what we do. Now I'm gonna insert some videos, some clips, or whatever from that night. So let me scoot over a little bit. I'm gonna put some videos and shit like that right there. So we in that bitch, mind you. Ain't like we was. I ain't gonna say we was broke. You feel me? But we did not have any extra money to really be throwing strippers. When I tell you I was slapping this one stripper, I'm gonna put the video right here. I was slapping this one stripper's ass with the same dollar bill. When I tell you, we was in that bit picking the ones up off the ground, recycling them hoes respectfully, like respectfully picking them ones up and putting them back on her ass. Like we just did not give a fuck. Like we was so turned and drunk in that bitch. I told you we was the club. Like I'm sitting there having conversations with the strippers. Like what the fuck is there really to talk about? Like if I'm a stripper, I'm like, yo, can you like throw some ones? Like can you do something? But they was so patient. Like I ain't even gonna say they was patient. Like I honestly think they was bored as fuck. Cause it was, yeah, that's it. They was just bored as fuck. So you know we in there. Turn. Mind you, this is a strip club and we in that bitch dancing. Like that's how turned we was. So boom. It's time to go. It's like 2:30, 3 o'clock. And we're like, alright, we gotta go. Call this a night. We bounce. So we leave. Now mind you, before I even proceed, cops have always fucked with me, bro. I don't know what it is, well what it was, cause I don't get fucked with as much now, but before it's like they had spidey senses. Like they oh yeah, Jaren's in the area. Let's go. Let's get her. Like I don't know what it was, but they stayed. I ain't gonna cap. I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. Laws did not apply to me. I didn't give a fuck about no law. What is all? You can't tell me that I can't smoke weed in my car. You can't tell me I can't have 10 guns. Now let me stop. But when I tell you I was so reckless, when I was young. It made no sense. Like doing dumb shit. But police, like it was to the point that one time I had got arrested. Mind you, this is my first time going to jail. I've been arrested plenty, like I ain't gonna say plenty of times, but I've been arrested a couple of times. But you know, go downtown, they process you, you leave. It ain't like I ever, like actually went to jail. It was just like consistent. Like it was one time, this one cop like arrested me, and he put me in the front seat. Like that's how comfortable them niggas was with me. Like he had me in the front seat. The nigga, like he stopped and got gas. The video go be in the middle of getting arrested. This nigga getting gas. I had my phone out. Like I was in that bitch chilling for real. So yeah, we leaving Onyx. Mind you, I told you he stayed 5 minutes from Onyx, bro. 5 minutes. So as soon as we leave, dude, we're bro, I ain't even do shit for real. I ain't even do shit just cause my license suspended, my tag expired, just because all of that don't mean you gotta fuck with me. Don't fuck with me, bro. Them laws do not apply to me. I'm exempt. I plead the fifth. They pull us over. I pull in the gas station. I pull exactly up at a pump. I pulled up at a pump, which was the stupidest thing ever. Like, y'all will understand that later. But I pulled up at the pump, and he was like, you know that your license is suspended and blah blah blah. And I'm like what? Raggy? Excuse me? It's suspended? What is that? License? I got a license? Like what? Mind you, I had like a zip. If y'all know what a zip is, go look it up. I had a zip on me. And when I seen the police behind me, I tried to stuff that shit in my tight ass pants. Bro, these was the tightest pants I probably owned at the time. These motherfuckers was so tight, my motherfucking, you could see my heart jumping out of my chest every time it beat. Like, these motherfucking pants was tight, and my dumb ass put it right there, like literally like right here under my shirt where my belt is at. So I'm just like, no. He was like, can you step out the car? I'm like, fuck. My dumb ass, I get out the car. He take me to his car. He pat me down or whatever. And he pats it. He was like, I thought you didn't have nothing. And I was like Raggy, like, oh, como esta? This bitch, at this point, I don't even understand English, nigga. Like, I don't even know what you asked me for real. I don't even know. So after that, mind you, once a police sees that you lied once, it could be the smallest fucking lie. They are not going to trust anything else you gotta say after that. Just like any normal person would. If you tell me a lie once, I'm not gonna trust you after that. He go to the car. He pulled both of us out the car. He searched the car. He finds his gun. He finds it. Now, why the fuck this dude had a... It still baffles me to this day why the fuck he needed that shit to go 5 minutes up the road, nigga. Like, you ain't got no enemies. You know what I'm saying? Now, let me stop. I did tell y'all he was in the streets for real. Fix this lighting. It's getting dark outside, so I gotta keep turning that bitch up. They found a gun, and they was like, whose gun is this? We both looking at each other like, nigga, I ain't about to say shit. Nigga, I'm not about to snitch and be like, that's his shit. So he looking at me, I'm looking at him. They're like, all right, bet. Neither one of y'all want to talk. So he go back to the car. He finds, see, I had it hidden like a motherfucker. I don't know how he found that shit, but he finds the fake IDs and the fake debit cards. And he's like, all right, so what's up with these? Like, my face was on the shit with a different name. He was like, what's up with these? I'm like, yo, I lost my ID, so I was just using a fake ID for real. Like, I was of age, you feel me? So I'm like, yo, I was just using that fake ID. He was like, all right, what's up with the debit card? I'm like, bro, this is like a second form of ID. If y'all don't take the first one, I'll be like, yo, that's my shit, you feel me? And so he like, all right, bet. So they take us to the police department. They didn't take us downtown or not. They took us to the police department. And I'm just like, what the fuck? Mind you, we left the club at like 3 o'clock. So it's like 5 o'clock at this point at the police department. They put me and him in the interrogation room, dude. Never been in a fucking interrogation room in my life. When I tell you, it's literally how you see it on First 48. That's how it is. Like, except I think they had me handcuffed to the table. See, handcuffs don't even bother me no more. If my girl tried to put some handcuffs on me, at this point, I would think she's taking me to jail. Like, bitch, you trying to get freaky? That's what you trying to do? That shit don't turn me on. Like, take these motherfuckers off me, bro. So they had me handcuffed to the table. When I tell you I was in that bitch waiting for hours, cause I still had my phone. I was in that bitch waiting for like 4 or 5 hours. Nothing. Like, literally nothing. I'm sitting here knocking on the, cause you can't leave. I'm sitting here knocking on the door. I'm like, yo, can I use the bathroom? Can I get some water? Can I do something? Cause like, what the fuck are y'all doing? Like y'all got us sitting in this room. So come to find out, since it was like 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning, I had to wait until a certain police officer. It's like that the top dog. I don't even know what the fuck their name is because I don't give a damn. But I was waiting on the top dog to come in, and they sleep. You feel me? They taking their time. They go come in when the fuck they want to come in. So I'm in there chilling, hard as fuck. It's cold as hell in that bitch. Still waiting. It's like at this point, it's like I was waiting on. It felt like Judgment Day. Like I was waiting on Jesus to come down and say if I was about to go to heaven or hell or not. Like that's how fucking intense it was in that room. Boom. Finally come. Finally came, bro. So it's this lady. She come in, sit down, talk her shit. She's like, so what's up with the fake IDs? Been trying to figure out who's been making them and things like that. I'm like, fake ID. In my head, I'm like, fake ID, bitch. You ain't in here to talk about the gun. Like, you ain't talking about some fake IDs, bro. So she talking about the fake IDs. I'm like, I ain't about to say where the hell I got these. So she's like, just give me a name, a number, and we can keep it pushing. So I'm like, okay. So I went in my phone and I picked the I ain't gonna say the most random number. I picked a number that I knew didn't work no more. Like somebody I didn't talk to no more. Cause I don't like sit here and delete contacts and shit. I don't do that. So I went to this dude number. His name was, I ain't about to say his name. I'm not about to say his name. I'm gonna just say one. I went to his name. I'm like, look, this the dude name, this is number, he be on the east side. Boom. Cause she did ask what side he was on. I ain't just throw that in that bitch for no extra credit or nothing. She asked. So she like, okay, cool, thank you. And she was like, now, the gun. I'm like, fuck. Shouldn't have said nothing, bitch. Like, hey, yo, bitch. What the hey, yo, like, damn. So she like, the gun. Whose gun is that? You know whose gun that is? Cause it was in your car. Like it was in my car. I'm like, no, I don't even know. I don't know whose gun that was. Honestly, like she was like, well, the other dude is saying he doesn't know whose gun it is either. I'm like, what the fuck that got to do with me, bitch? I don't know who gun it is. Like, hey, yo, bitch, you better listen. Like our stories was adding up. Like I can't remember the exact stories, but our stories was adding up. So he ended up taking the blame for the gun. He was like, yeah, I took it to the car. I brought it to the car, to the club or whatever, and she didn't know. So basically he was like, yeah, I didn't know it was in the car and things like that. So I ain't gonna say they let me go, but they went on ahead and took me out the interrogation room, and I went into another cop car. Dude, my homie, he's still in there. So they take me to the cop car, and I'm like, bet. I'm finally about to get processed. I'm finally about to just go the fuck home. Mind you, it's like 9 o'clock, 8 o'clock in the morning at this point. Sun is up. I done been up for 24 fucking hours. So they take me downtown. I'm like, bet, let me go ahead and get this shit over with so I can leave. Take me downtown. I get processed, all of that shit. Just the normal shit, you feel me? And then after that, talk to the DA. The DA was like, look, this is your charge. They charged me for the fake debit card. Like I was really swiping that bitch. Like dead ass. That bitch, it had no magnetic strip on it at all. And to this day, my lawyer said they shouldn't have charged me for that shit. But it had no magnetic strip. So the DA was like, look, this is your charge. This is your bond amount. And as soon as she said bond amount, I'm like, fuck. I just threw all my money at the just threw all the ones at the strip club, recycling them hoes. Can I go back and pick them bitches up at this point? The bond, it wasn't much. It was like $5,000, and you know you gotta pay 10%. So it was like $500 for me to be bonded out. I'm like, fuck. So after you speak with the DA, you go to the phones, and then from there you wait until your name is called, and they'll get you move you to the jail. So I'm on the phones or whatever. I'm calling people. Not calling people. I'm calling my family. And my mom, as soon as she answered, she was like, you better call your daddy. I I ain't got nothing for you. Like, when I tell you this shit was like repetitive with me getting in trouble with the cops, it did not faze them at all. Like, so call my dad, call my sister, blah blah blah. So they get the money up for me, and I'm like, look, I'll pay y'all back when I get out, blah blah blah. And they're like, all right, I'm gonna see what we can do. They're like, all right, they call my name, and I go ahead and change or whatever. I went and changed, and that's when the shit got real. It got real. I changed, and then they took me back to the car lot. They took me back to the car lot because this jail, the jail downtown, is a men's jail. Like, no females are in there. So they took me to the female jail, which was like across town. So they took me there, and like the shit that was going through my head was just like, yo, what the fuck did I do? Like regretting everything. Mind you, I don't even have regrets, you feel me? So I'm like, fuck. We get to the jail. Shit is so real. Like, I'm sitting, like, I got the handcuffs on my arms, got the cuffs on my ankles, like, just looking like a straight jailbird. Like, ew, coronavirus. That's how I felt dirty as fuck in there, and it was cold as hell, like super cold. So they put me in the holding cell, and you know, the holding cell, they just get you ready for your main cell. So fuck, I'm just like, bro, there's not much I could do at this point, but just the fuck, this ain't prison break. The fuck I'm about to go? Dig a ditch out this bitch? Nah, no. They get me to the jail. They get me to the pod or whatever. Mind you, when I walk in there, bitch, this shit looks exactly like the jail you see on TV is exactly how this shit look for real. Like, I know it look different in certain different counties and shit, but that's how it looked. Like, it was the upper level and the lower level and shit. But they had me at the lower level. When I walked in that bitch, I was like, where the fuck is everybody at? Like, if I breathe, I would hear my echo. Like, I'm like, bro, I'm the only one in here. But as I was walking to her, I like seen a basketball court, and I seen this and that. I'm like, this doesn't seem too bad. This doesn't seem too bad. So I get to my cell. So I sit in my cell for a little bit. Now in your cell, they got like this little speaker, this little button or whatever, and the button, it will page the officers at the desk that's watching over the pod. So I was paging that bitch. I'm like, yo, can I use the phone? Because I'm trying to see where I'm at with this bail shit. Like, what is my family doing? And they like, no, not yet. It's not time to come out or whatever. So I'm just in that bitch. I just started crying. Like, I'm like, I'm not supposed to be here. I'm not supposed to be here. I just started crying and shit. They have finally let us out. And I'm like, oh, I'm not the only one here. So like 3-4 other females come out. It was not a lot at all. Mind you, they come out that bitch, hey, routine as fuck. Like, this is not our first time. It is not. So I'm like, alright, let me talk to them, whatever. Wait, before I talked to them, I definitely did hop on that phone. I did hop on that phone, and they had paid my bill. They paid it, so I'm like, bet, I'm about to be out this bitch in a minute. So I go talk to them, you know, learning names, tell backstories or whatever, and they've been in there for a minute. Like, one girl was in there and it wasn't even her fault. Like, not her fault. Like, she had nothing to do with the situation. And the shit is sad because that's how people are in there. Like, they be innocent as fuck, but they just don't have the funds or the people to call to help them. And the shit's sad for real. Hold on, only got 10 seconds left. Hold on, let me restart. So yeah, they ain't really got nobody for real. So I'm like, damn. Sad story. They asking me while I'm in there and shit. It's just normal jail talk at this point. I'm like, fuck, like this is y'all life. This ain't my life, because I'm getting the fuck up out of here. So we talking, and she like, she was like, yeah, I can't get in contact with nobody. They won't send me no money. Blah 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 blah. And I'm like, look, I'm about to get bailed out. So she had gave me her people information. It was like, look, when you get out, can you call them, tell them I need help in here, you feel me? And it, shit sad as fuck for real. So I'm like, yeah, whatever, I got you. Like we like I was in that bitch kicking it for real with them. So the food come out. The food comes out, bro. Think about this shit about pissing me off. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, the shit they feed them in there is, bro, I don't see how that shit is legal for real. Like, I ain't even, she was like, you gonna eat that? I'm like, hell no, you want this shit? Like, I will starve at this point. I don't give a damn. So I'm like, yeah, take this shit. I don't want it. Like, I can't remember what the fuck they gave me. But I'm like, nah, I'm good. Like, take it. You ain't gotta fight me for it. You ain't gotta pay me for it to take the shit. Here. So, you know, I get it to him or whatever. You know, we had our recreational time. Doing whatever, watching TV. Normal shit you do in jail. So, it was time to go back in your pod. So, I'm like, alright, go back in my pod. I'm sitting there cooling. I'm like, alright, I'm about to be out in a minute. Like, shit. Free me. Shit. So, I'm in that bitch chilling. I'm like, alright, bet. And I just see the sun starting to go down. I'm like, bro, what the fuck is going on? Like, what's taking so long? Like, what's taking so long? So I'm sitting there binging. I'm binging the speaker or whatever. I'm like, yo, my family posted my bail. Like, why am I still in here? And they were like, what's your name? Well, they didn't ask that shit. They knew my name. So they was like, let me go ahead and look it up, see what's going on, blah blah blah. And they was like, yeah, we see that they posted, they paid your bail, but it takes 8 hours to process. Bitch, I knock all this shit over. Yo! 8 hours? When she said that shit, I started crying again. Like, I just started crying again. I'm like, bruh, I'm not supposed to be in here, dude. 8 hours? They go feed us again. I'm telling you, I was there for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Like, literally, I gave all that shit away. I'm like, bro, I'm tired of it. Just let me out. I'm sitting there crying, going to sleep. Waking up, oh, I'm still here, crying, going to sleep. Mind you, the motherfucking bed, that shit was as hard as my ass, bitch. Like, that, the motherfucking bed, I don't even, this shit, just know. Homeless people are sleeping better, just know. That's all I'm gonna say. The 8 hours finally came, yo, and it was like, she had buzzed me. She was like, get your stuff. She was like, go ahead and get ready. You posted bail. I started moonwalking in that bitch. Like, happy as hell. So I'm like, yeah, let's go. Like, I'm sitting at the edge of the bed like it's the first day of school. Like, so they come and get me or whatever, and it was just my time to go. So I got back. I had to get transported back across town, back downtown to where I was first processed. They got me back there or whatever. Mind you, I had to work Sunday. All of this shit happened between Friday and Saturday, so I got out just in time for work. Mind you, I ain't been asleep, none of that shit. So actually, I just lied. I did go to sleep when I was crying and shit, but it wasn't long. Like, I wasn't like knocked out, you know. And it was like, I'm up. I'm up. You feel me? I can't remember who came and got me, but somebody had, I think it was my mom. She had came and got me. So I'm like, yo, like, okay, she was gonna take me to my car. She took me to the location. My car is gone. Mind you, I had parked at a pump, and it has been like over 24 hours. They're gonna tow your shit. That's why I said I shouldn't have pulled in the pump, but it is what it is. Ain't what it ain't. Stank what it stank. Think what you think. Bank what you bank. I'm like, fuck. So I had to figure out where the fuck my car was at. Went to the field, and then had to pay to get out of there. So I'm like, I'm in the fucking hole at this point. I'm like, look, I gotta pay back $500 for the bill. Then I had to pay like $250, $300 to get my car out. Mind you. And then I still had to go to fucking work. Bitch, I ain't wanna... Just take me now, like... But yeah, I walked into work. Same fit on from motherfucking Friday. Like, nothing happened. Nobody knew nothing. My job ain't know nothing. I came into work on time and all of that shit. Like, that was... It was hectic, bro. But yeah, like, I ain't been in jail since. And I ain't going back, bitch. First day out. Be on the lookout for the single. It's gonna drop. But yeah, that was that. I wouldn't advise nobody to go to fucking jail. I'm not gonna lie about that. That is not the place to be. But yeah, moral of the story is there ain't no moral. For real, for real. Just do you, be you. Go through any situation, it's gonna make you stronger, for real, for real. But yeah, that's the end of this story. They saw something out there, bitch.